yeah. Look at that. Howdy folks, welcome to Texas Cooking Today. I'm Stuart Trotter, your host. This is a cooking tutorial for Texas Cooking Today, and you've seen what we're about to make. So I'll tell you what, let's get right into it. Well, howdy folks, and welcome back to Texas Cooking Today. On this episode, we're making a cheese and broccoli soup. You've just seen it. Looks delicious, doesn't it? Guys, this is a really hearty soup. It is so full of flavor, it's unbelievable. This is one of those recipes I developed decades back, and it is a good one. It's a keeper. So when I share this with you, and you make it the first time, remember, that's just the first time that you're going to be making it. You will be making it more. Now, this has a lot of spice in it. It has a lot of flavors in it. Don't be afraid of that. On this show, my motto here is, if you're going to cook, you can't be afraid of flavor. And today, I'm going to teach you on this tutorial all of the tips, tricks, and techniques to making a really, really stellar, good broccoli cheddar cheese soup. This one's an award-winning good soup, guys. So let's get in the kitchen and make this one up. Come on, let's get at it. Oh guys, looky here. I've got so many wonderful ingredients. I've got the stock back here, and there's some potato flakes here, believe it or not. We've got onion and broccoli and garlic and butter. There's ground mustard and white pepper and salt, extra sharp cheese, heavy cream. Oh my gosh, this dish is just fantastic. When you try it, you're gonna really, really love it. But the first thing we have to do is a little bit of prep work. It's not a lot. I need to dice that onion, and I need to cut up my broccoli so that it's ready to make a wonderful soup. I need little pieces that fit on the spoon well. So this won't be a problem. Guys, let's get busy making this soup. Come on. Okay folks, now if you're watching this, that means you're watching the tutorial. And when it comes to cutting up broccoli, something I kind of discovered a while back is you just got to start at that bottom and work your way up. Now that part I usually discard about a ½ inch of. Now what I want to do here, I'm going to make some cuts that are about 1/4 of an inch thick, and I'm just going to keep on going down. And what that's going to do is it's going to free up certain pieces of broccoli like it did there. But I still have that center core that I can cut and get some of these whole pieces out of, like that. Right, now this stuff, the stem, is all good and usable, and I'm going to use it. So what I want to do is just simply get it kind of chopped down. And the important thing here, guys, is please remember, we're not trying to go for a gold medal on this. We just want some little pieces of broccoli stem. Look at that. Could it be any easier? Now the whole idea of this dish, this is just one of those soups that's hearty and super easy to make and so full of flavor that it's unbelievable. Now if you'll notice how I'm holding that knife, always pinch the blade, choke up on it. These stems, these little ones, you can just go at those, cross-cutting them. Alright, when you get to the end of your floret, go at it a couple of times. Looky there. Isn't that nice? And you get these beautiful little pieces that work out wonderfully in the soup, okay? And if you're wondering what I'm doing there with my hand, this hand has those fingers curled under. I'm holding it like this, and I'm using this center knuckle right here to guide the side of my blade. See there? Isn't that nice? Okay guys, this is your quick one-over on cutting out your onion. Always cut the stem, not the root end first. So just go ahead and remove that, and then run your knife up the side so that you can remove that outer layer of thin skin. There we go. All right, guys. Now we have that onion with the skin off of it, and I gave it a quick rinse. I'm going to split it from the root straight down into 2 halves, just like that. And in order to get a good even dice, you need to cut an onion on 3 axes, okay, 3 directions. So we're going to go crosswise into it a couple of times, just like that, and a little bit higher. There we are. We'll do that again. Always do this cutting away from you, like I am here. Isn't that nice? Okay, the next thing I need to do to get my beautiful perfect dice is to just make some lengthwise cuts from the root end on down. See, some of it's already wanting to dice. There we go, guys. A beautiful, beautiful diced out onion. Lovely. A little root left, and that's it. So as you can see, not a difficult thing to do when it comes to how to make your onion just perfect, right? There we are. Now guys, we've done all of our cutting. Let's start by getting our onion right down into my larger size pan here. Now this one is a 5-quart pan, and I'll have a smaller one that is a 3-quart pan. This will be perfect for this. I needed the larger one here to do this recipe because it is a very large recipe. I need to put some olive oil on this, and I'm going to put this with a medium-low flame underneath it. So what we're going to do here, guys, I want to bring this up in temperature, and I want to do what's called sweating these onions. There we go. Just give it some time. Those are going to, once they start cooking, they're going to take about 10 minutes to sweat, and I want to sweat them down until they're kind of translucent in appearance. I'm about 6 minutes in on sweating these onions. If you'll notice, they're getting somewhat translucent now. They don't have that stark white appearance they once had. So I'll give it a few more minutes. It's been about 6, maybe 7 minutes now. Okay guys, I have now sweat my onion, and I'm getting just a slight amount of browning on the edges, and this was over low heat toward the end there. It's been about 10 minutes. They're translucent. So what I need to do now, I'm going to get my liquid down in here so I can get started cooking up some of my other goodies. Let's start with our stock. Now I'm going to bring my heat up to a high flame. We're going to bring this up to a boil, and when I do, it's time to put the broccoli in there. And I'm going to cover that, and when I do, we're going to start making that wonderful cheese sauce. I have another pot right down here. We're going to do the cheese sauce right in that. Well guys, I have played a little bit of a switcheroo on my burners. My pot with the onions and the broth is back here, and it is boiling. So let's go ahead and get this right down in there. Wonderful. I know, looks like a lot, and it is, but that's all right. Let it cook. I'm going to put a medium heat under that, and I'm going to turn my attention to this other pot, guys. Right now, we need to get started on that cheese sauce. I have the butter down in the bottom here, so let's turn that on and get busy making up that wonderful cheese sauce. Now guys, as I'm working on this, I need to show you on your garlic. When you need to get it out of that paper, just give it a little twist. When you hear it crackling, that paper will come off of there. Isn't that just too neat? Just like that. Okay. I'm going to bring my temperature to a medium high on this pot. There we go. That butter is melted. So what I want to do is just crush these cloves of garlic and throw each one of them in there. You don't have to do anything more than that, guys. You don't have to mince it or anything like that. Just toss them in whole. So we get our garlic down in that pan and we're going to cook it for just a moment, and then I'm going to use tongs and pull the garlic out of it, throwing the garlic away. The garlic oils are all I'm going for here, and it doesn't take but a moment to extract that. Now I'm going to get this beautiful release of butter and garlic in the air. I have set my timer on my broccoli over here. As you can see, that's just now starting to come up to a boil. And I can start putting spices down in that anytime. But the focus right now is on this, so let's get that garlic taken care of. So I'm building this wonderful flavor right here. I'm cooking these garlic oils in butter and getting this fabulous A, odor, and B, flavor that's just going to add to the whole soup. As I mentioned, I'm just going to pull it out with tongs to dispose of it. Let's get the cream right down in that butter. Oh yeah, look at that. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, as this comes up in temperature, I will be able to get my cheese into it, melt that cheese, and produce a beautiful cheddar cheese sauce. First, we need to take care of spices on the base. All right, let's go ahead and get our spices down in here. So 1/2 teaspoon of mustard right in there. 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of that white pepper. From there, those spices with the rest of this simply need to cook up. Okay, got that cream good and steamy hot now. Let's get the cheese on in there. Now I have this flame down to a low. Just going to keep working that cheese in there. Alright, now as this comes up in temperature and it keeps melting, let's go back over here to our veggie pot and take care of what's next. I'm turning that temperature from medium low down to a low. There we are. I'm going to go ahead and get my potato flakes in there. Just like this. This is going to add body and structure to this soup, guys. I know it looks weird, but believe it or not, this just works, and it is so cool the way it works. There we go. And it may make that a little bit thick, that's okay. Lid goes back on it and it finishes its last 2 minutes of cooking. We turn attention back over to that cheese sauce again. The cheese is melted on this. I'm going to drop my heat. That cheese base is finished and ready to go. All I have to do at this point, guys, is combine the two. So 2 more minutes of cooking on my broccoli, and then I combine them, and then, well, soup's ready. Guys, my timer has just gone off, so what I'm going to do is put the cheese down in with the broccoli, and we're going to get this soup taken care of. Now this has gotten somewhat thick. In a little bit I may add a little water. Let's get my cream down in here. Stir that in. Look at this, folks. Now I'm going to go ahead, clean out what I have left in this using a spatula. And there it is, folks. You have a beautiful broccoli and cheddar soup. Fully cooked, ready to go, delicious. Oh man, this one is an absolute winner. Wait till you get it on your spoon. Okay guys, the ingredients that you're going to be needing for this recipe, this is your exact list, so get ready to write it down. First of all, we started with 1 quart of chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock, either way works fine. I have 1.5 cups of potato flakes, that's your dried potato, a little over 1/2 pound of broccoli florette, okay, and 1 medium white onion. 3 cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of heavy cream, 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar, or extra sharp is even better, guys. The sharpest cheddar you can get is the best you can do. This is extra sharp I'm using. You'll also be using some olive oil to cook that onion in. That'll be a couple of tablespoons. And on your seasonings, white pepper, mustard, and the salt. Each, we're going to start with 1/2 teaspoon each. Okay, so very simple. At the end of cooking, you can taste and see if you need a little more salt added. Often this soup needs a little more, but not always. It just depends on the stock. Now guys, there's your ingredients list. This is an absolutely delicious recipe. You're going to be floored when you taste it. It's so good. Oh, all right, guys, look at that. We've made this beautiful soup. Now, look how it coats. That's how thick and wonderful it is. And that's the reason I use that potato. It gives it that body, that wonderful thick base. Oh, yeah. Look at that. You know, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that when it comes to a broccoli cheese soup. I think, frankly, this one could very well be the very best recipe that anybody has produced. Guys, I have been sitting here enjoying this. This is a really good soup. Oh, man. Still just a light texture on the broccoli. The cheese explodes in your mouth. This hint of garlic in the background and the other spices that make people wonder, what is that? It's good, but what is it? It's just the right amount. The flavors absolutely pop on this recipe. Guys, you're going to enjoy it so much. Thank you very much for watching Texas Cooking today. To my subscribers, thank you guys. Thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, well, please do. And click the bell. I'll notify you when the new stuff comes out. Now, so you'll know, I normally post on Thursdays. So you might want to be looking for fresh recipes each week on Thursdays. Guys, thank you for watching once again. Please click the like button. And if you would, do one last thing. Just have a good day. Bye-bye. Well, there it is, folks. Texas Cooking Today video tutorial. I do appreciate you coming to my show and watching. If you would, please go to my channel, check out some of the other good stuff I have there. And again, thank you very much for watching.